Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can embed Android's camera using CameraX in Godot game engine with the help of an Android plugin. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. I will be showing mirroring my device with the help of Android Studio because it has this cool mirroring feature, that's why. So I'll just, here you can see this is my real device. So first it is asking me for camera permission, so I'll just give the camera permission, and here you can see I'm displaying the camera preview. Now the camera preview is displayed using CameraX, so we have written native code for this. Also the capture button is part of the native Android plugin itself. This is not a Godot button, so I'll just click on this capture button. It will capture the image and then it will display it inside a texture rect. Now I could have used the native Android image view as well, but I wanted to show you how you can send this image from native Android side to Godot side and display it inside texture rect as well. But I think this is unnecessarily complicated, like displaying it inside a texture rect. If you have already embedded CameraX using Android plugin, you should just normally use Android image view because it will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. But if somehow you would require that image view on the Godot side because you are doing some kind of a manipulation or logic building, then texture rect is the way to go. That's why I showed you the difficult part, texture rect. But if you want help with image view as well, do let me know in the comments. So yeah, let's get started. So first I have by following this particular documentation, I have created one cheat sheet. So instead of referring to this particular documentation, I will be referring to this cheat sheet. Now the first thing is you need to create an Android project. So to create an Android project, you can just click on new project over here, select empty views activity, click on next. Main HDK I have kept it as 26, so do remember this version because this version needs to be used it on Godot side as well. And language I have kept it as Kotlin. You can give whatever application name you feel like, and do remember your package name. You can change the package name as well to whatever you feel like, and then just click on finish. Like I have already said, I already have created a project for this, so I'll just open the existing project. Once you open the existing once you have created an Android project, it does take a bit of time to do the Gradle syncing, so just be patient. Once the Gradle syncing is done, you should see something like this. Like you will not see this my library folder, you will see this app as well as Gradle scripts. If you're not able to see this, you can just select this Android drop down from over here. Now you need to create this my library folder. So for that, so just right click on app, new, module, select Android library, and here give it name as my library or whatever name you feel like. Again, I have kept the languages Kotlin, minimum HDK is 26, build configuration is Kotlin DSL, and then click on finish. I already have this, that's why it is not giving me this error, like my library already exists. So once you click on finish, again it take a bit of time to do Gradle syncing, so just be patient. Once that is done, you need to open Gradle scripts over here. You need to go to build.gradle.kts of your library, okay, and here firstly you need to use Godot. So I am using Godot 4.4.1, which is the latest at the time of recording this video. That's why I have given this version. So if you are using some higher version, make sure you update this particular version as well. Then here I have integrated camera core, then I have camera 2, then I have camera lifecycle, and finally I have camera view as well. Once you have add all this dependency, just click on the sync now button, and here at the top you will see a sync now. So just click on it and it will download the dependencies for you. Once that is done, you need to go to my library, you need to go to Kotlin plus Java, and inside this first folder you need to right click, new, Kotlin class file, and give it name as Godot Android plugin. As you can see, I have already created that particular file over here. Now firstly, these are all the imports which you need to copy. So I'll just remove this dead import. So these are the imports which you need to copy. So I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports which are there. Then here we extend from Godot plugin as well as lifecycle owner. So this lifecycle owner thing is required for this CameraX. That's why. Now here I have given the plugin name as my plugin. You can give it whatever name you feel like, but do remember this name because this name will be used in lot other places as well. Then here we have this lifecycle registry. Then here I have set the current state of our lifecycle registry depending on the lifecycle state, and here we get hold of our lifecycle as well. Then this is the preview view from camera. This is the capture button. Here is our frame layout, and we are taking a frame layout because we want to display preview as well as button. So frame layout is the parent view. Here is our image capture. This is the process camera provider, and here is our camera executor service. Then here is our camera request code as well. Then here we get the camera permission, and if Android version less than equal to P, we just use the write external storage permission along with camera permission. If you are using Android version greater than 10, greater or equal to 10, you don't require write external storage permission. So here we are registering one signal as well of type dictionary. So this is a Godot dictionary, not an Android dictionary or a Java dictionary. This is a Godot dictionary. So make sure you import it correctly. Now this will help us to send the data like the bitmap from native Android side to Godot side. And here once Godot setup is completed, we immediately request for the camera permission, and once the user gives us the permission, we automatically come to this particular method. If they have given us the permission, then we call start camera, else we just display a toast message saying permission denied. Then inside start camera, we first check whether we have proper permission or not. Then we initialize our container frame layout. We add it to our content view, which is the parent view of our Android. Then we initialize the preview, which is the camera preview view or viewfinder. Then we add the preview view to our container, which is the frame layout. Then we initialize our capture button and add a click listener to it as well. And here I think I added click listener twice, I don't know why. So I can remove one of these click listeners. And then we add the frame layout, we add our capture button to our container as well. Then we initialize our camera executor. Then we initialize our process camera provider. We add a listener to it as well. Then we get our camera provider. Then we initialize the preview view. We initialize our image capture as well. Then we initialize our default back camera. So if you want to use front camera instead of default back camera, you can rename, like use default front camera. Then we unbind our camera provider. We bind it to the life cycle over here. Then here we have the stop camera method as well, where we just unbind our camera provider, make it as null. We remove that container from our parent. We make everything as null, and we shut down our camera executor. Now to take photo, we get hold of our image capture. We just this is the name of the captured image. Then we have to use something called content value. So pass the display name mime type, and if Android version greater than Q, we also set this particular thing. Then here we do image capture dot output file options, and finally we do call the take picture method, which gives us two methods, on error as well as on image saved. So once image is saved, we create a dictionary. We get bitmap from the saved image URI. So here I have defined another method which I will show you, and then we convert it to bitmap to byte array, assign it to our dictionary. Then we hide our preview view, we stop our camera, we emit the signal. And here these are the helper methods. So I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and just copy the code. Okay, once this is done, you just need to go to manifest, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we have this uses feature of Android hardware camera. Then we have internet permission, camera permission, as well as write external storage. And here you also need to copy paste this particular bit of code, but here you need to make few changes. So firstly, this should be your plugin name. So whatever name you have given over here should be the same thing over here as well, and this should be the package name. So whatever package name you see over here at the top, so copy it and paste it over here, and this is the Godot Android plugin class Kotlin file name. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to the project drop down over here. You need to open my library, and here you need to create one directory called export scripts template. So just right click, new directory, and name it as export underscore scripts underscore template. As you can see, I have already created it, so I won't create it again. And inside this you need to create two files, export underscore plugin.gd and plugin.cfg. So to create this, just again right click, new file, and create export underscore plugin.gd and plugin.cfg. Now inside plugin.cfg, I have copy pasted all this code from documentation. So this is the plugin name. You can change the description and author to whatever you feel like. Then here we have this export underscore plugin.gd. Again, I have copy pasted this code from the documentation. So I'll simply scroll through this. So firstly, this is your plugin name. Again, I'll simply scroll through this, and here we also need to override the get Android dependencies, because apart from the Godot dependency, whatever extra dependency you add inside build.gradle, you need to specify it over here. So here you can see we add the camera core, then the camera 2, then camera view, and camera life cycle. Same thing below as well I have done. So make sure you add it. Make sure you use the same version what you have defined it inside build.gradle. Okay, to do is you need to cd to your Android project. So I'll quickly cd to my Android project. I'll just go to my Godot project over here. I'll cd to my Android project. I'll just clear everything out, sorry about this. So I am inside my Android project, and there is a command which you need to run. So I'll simply scroll down, and this is the command which you need to run. So I'll just copy this, and I'll paste it over here. So this will create a build folder. Now I have already ran this command, so it will be pretty quick for me, but in your case it might take a bit of time. So if you need to go to, once the command is successful, you need to go to your Android project, you need to go to your library, go to build, outputs, AAR, and here you should see 2 AAR files being generated. So here you can see build successful. Once you see that, you need to go to Godot game engine, you need to create a Godot project. Okay, once you have created a Godot project, you just need to click on project, install Android build template. I have already installed it. If you are doing this for the very first time, you also need to download it and then install it. Once that is done, you need to go to project, click on export, click add Android, and above the export project you will see the fix import button. So just click on fix import. Then here you check this use Gradle build. Here the minimum SDK is 26, and here architecture, we just select all 4 of this architecture over here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so minimum SDK, whatever you had set inside your Android project, use the same over here as well. So next what you need to do is you need to go to your Godot project. Inside that, create a folder called add-ons. Now you can create it from Godot game engine or via your file explorer, it's up to you. So create a folder called add-ons. Inside that, create a folder with your plugin name. Okay, and inside that you need to create a folder called bin. Now you also need to copy these 2 files from your Android export scripts template. So here you can see. So here I'll just go to my Android library, export scripts template, and here you can just copy these 2 files and paste it over here inside the my plugin folder of Godot game engine. Copy pasted these 2 files. This .uid file which you see, that is generated automatically by Godot for indexing purposes, so don't worry too much about that. Then inside the bin folder you need to create 2 folders, debug and release. Now you can go to the build folder, outputs, AAR. Now you need to copy the debug file to the debug folder and release file to the release folder. I have already copy pasted it. Once you have copied it, you again need to change the name of the file. So whatever is your file name, my plugin -debug.ar. okay, and in this case also the same, my plugin -release.ar. Once you have done all these steps, go back to Godot game engine, and here you first need to go to project settings, go to plugins, and you need to check this particular checkbox as well. Then close this. Then just create one 2D scene. So here you can see I have just created one 2D scene as well, and I have created one texture rect, taken one texture rect, but I have hidden it at the start. So if you want, you can hide it like this and make it visible later on, because we don't have anything to show over it. Okay, and here I have set it as fit width for expanded mode. Then I have attached one script to this. So inside this particular script, here first I have taken one variable where we assign it as my plugin, and here we have another variable where we have this Android plugin. Then here we get hold of our texture rect as well. Inside the ready function we set the size for our texture rect, and if the engine has singleton, we initialize our Android plugin, we also collect our signal to it. Then inside this particular signal, once we get the signal, this method gets called. So here we just make sure our texture rect is visible. Then we initialize our image. Then we load our JPEG from buffer, and here we pass the dictionary. So we were passing the data in the 0th index of our dictionary, right? That's why we are doing same thing over here. And once we have the image, we just do image texture.new, create from image, and pass the image over here and display it inside the texture rex texture. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. I think that should be it. Thank you for watching. Bye.